Saint Katharine Drexel, a life of faith, service, and mission, early life and family. Saint Katharine Drexel was born on November 26, 1858, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, into a wealthy and devout Catholic family. She was the daughter of Francis Anthony Drexel, a prominent banker and philanthropist, and Hannah Langstroth Drexel. Despite her privileged upbringing, Katharine was raised with a strong sense of social responsibility and deep faith. Her family's generosity toward the poor and marginalized greatly influenced her future mission. Tragedy struck early in her life when her mother passed away shortly after her birth. Her father later remarried, and together with her stepmother, the family was known for their deep commitment to the Catholic faith and charitable works. The Drexels opened their home to the poor several times a week, instilling in Katharine and her sisters a lifelong dedication to helping those in need. Call to religious life. As a young woman, Katharine traveled across the United States and witnessed firsthand the struggles of Native Americans and African Americans, who were often marginalized and denied opportunities for education and economic advancement. These experiences stirred her heart, and she felt called to devote her life to serving these communities. While on a visit to Rome in 1887, she had a private audience with Pope Leo XIII, asking him to send missionaries to serve Native Americans. The Pope challenged her with a profound question: "Why not, my child, yourself become a missionary?" This moment deepened her call to religious life. After much prayer and discernment, she decided to enter religious life and dedicate her fortune to serving Native Americans and African Americans. Foundress of the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament, in 1891, Katharine Drexel founded the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament, a religious congregation dedicated to the education and spiritual care of African Americans and Native Americans. She and her sisters established schools, missions, and churches across the United States, emphasizing the importance of education as a means of empowerment and social justice. Katharine personally funded many of these initiatives, using her inheritance worth millions to build and sustain missions, schools, and churches. However, she was not merely a benefactor. She actively participated in the work, teaching, guiding, and leading with humility and love. Xavier University in New Orleans. One of her greatest achievements was the founding of Xavier University in New Orleans in 1925, the first and only historically Black Catholic university in the United States. Xavier University became a beacon of hope and opportunity for African Americans who sought quality education at a time when racial segregation and discrimination were widespread. Her commitment to education and racial justice was deeply rooted in her belief that every human being, regardless of race or background, is created in the image and likeness of God. Later years and canonization. In 1935, Katharine suffered a severe heart attack, forcing her to retire from active ministry. She spent the remaining years of her life in prayer and contemplation at the mother house of her congregation in Pennsylvania. She passed away on March 3, 1955, at the age of 96. Her extraordinary life of faith and service led to her beatification in 1988 and her canonization on October 1, 2000. By St. Pope John Paul II, she became the second American-born saint and was recognized for her tireless work in advancing education and social justice for marginalized communities. Lessons from her life. 1. Faith in action. Katharine Drexel transformed her immense wealth into a tool for justice and service. 2. Education as empowerment. She believed that education was key to breaking cycles of poverty and discrimination. 3. Love for the marginalized. She saw Christ in the poor and dedicated her life to uplifting them. 4. Obedience to God's call. She responded courageously to the Pope's challenge and gave her life to missionary work. 5. The power of prayer. Even in her later years, she remained deeply devoted to Eucharistic adoration and intercessory prayer. Theological reflection. How can we follow St. Katharine Drexel's example of using our gifts, whether wealth, talent, or time, to serve those who are most in need in today's society?